The greatest pleasure, I welcome Mairead O'Hagan to the studio. How are you, Mairead, this morning?
I'm very well, Rowan.
And Peter Murray from the Butter Crane Centre, a man whose first days in the Butter Crane I remember. You were the man who launched the whole concept in our community of under one shopping mall kind of experience. Mairead, tell me this, you're a farmer, you were milking cows until an hour ago. Is it true that beasts are becoming more aggressive? Because I've heard stories of ordinary, docile, lovely cows deciding, bang, and someone gets injured. Is that becoming the way of things?
I can't say that for dairy cows. Dairy cows are quite docile, absolutely.
Yeah. But you see, they know they're not going to get the chop. They're content.
They love to see us coming.
Yes, they see that. They like to see you coming.
They do.
Well, of course, you're pocketing. You're doing good business, and you're giving them relief from the carrying of too much of the old milk.
Absolutely.
The Newry show, that's why the woman's here, the Newry Agricultural Show. Put it up there, let me see that. It's called the Newry Show Schedule. Oh yay, oh yay, oh yay, the Newry Agricultural Society, authorised by IPS, members of the NISA, ISA, BGS, the Newry Show Schedule, at Newry Rugby Grounds. That's where you're going
this
year.
That's where we are. This is a new venue for us this year.
It's a nice venue too, because it's big enough.
It seems to be lovely.
Yeah.
I just hope it...
Yeah, where will you do the parking? Will there be parking there?
We have arranged with the local farmers, and they're going to allow us to use their fields.
Isn't
hopefully mid-June their grass will be cut off.
And there'll be no rain.
Absolutely, there'll be no rain. The sun will be shining all the way.
Yeah, and and Peter, you're sponsoring this year.
Yeah, we're delighted to continue our sponsorship over the past couple of years.
Well, isn't that great?
We have a good relationship with the Agriculture Show locally. And it's right and just that we do support the agricultural community, because they're a big element of the local economy.
They are.
Very important.
The economy, that's what you're about.
Have come through some difficult times, but maybe agriculture's on the way up, which we're delighted to see.
We all have to eat, haven't we?
Absolutely.
You supply the stuff. So many head of cattle have you got yourself? Many? Well, you have a herd, or what would be in your herd?
130 milking cows.
Is that done every morning?
And evening.
And evening?
Yes.
And have you slaves to do that?
Me.
I know, come on, you're joking.
I'm one of them.
But you've milking parlours, like, they all walk in.
Oh, we have.
And then the things go,
absolutely, oh yes.
And they're all swinging the tails, and there's men coming up with olives to feed them and saying, look, we want olive oil in your butter.
I wish.
Whatever. Is it safe to drink milk and eat cream and eat all of that? It is, I think. It's coming. Once upon a time we all went for the margarine, didn't we?
I think if you want butter, eat butter.
Eat butter. Never mind your veins. Never mind. That's all good.
No.
Well, I tell you, it wasn't margarine that made the Tyrone footballers a bit down the other Sunday night, I tell you. I suppose you took an uncanny and unjustifiable pleasure in all of that, Mr. Sarr.
It was nice to see Tyrone victorious. But, down, people were gracious in defeat. I think they realised they'd left the victory behind them the previous day down in Noma.
They did surely.
And, but for the grace of God, or the kick of a ball.
Yeah. Isn't that a lovely way you've put this? Didn't he say that most beautifully and generously?
Oh, yes.
They had left the victory behind them. Yeah. Goodness gracious, what a lovely way to put it. That's nice. You're very generous.
Yeah. But it's nice to be able to sit back and watch a match where you know most of the players on both sides, which is not normally the way in inter-county football. But I'm fortuitous that I'm based in Newry. Sure, it was a home match for me. The second match is much easier to get to Newry than what it is to get to Omagh.
For you? Where did you come to us from?
Just outside Omagh, Fintona.
Yeah. Look. And did you ever take the tablets for that?
No, but it was reared on a farm, so I know all about
You're safe enough in that.
what Mairead's gone through here.
Well, it was good. I think Newry is heaven compared with Fintona. But I'm sure country life is the same wherever.
I think
you
so.
experience.
Yeah.
A new place called Ardstraw.
Yeah.
And then there was another place down the road from it. I can't remember it. But country life is unique. And you've been country all your life.
I have, yes.
You're a farmer's daughter.
I am.
Right. You married a farmer.
I married a farmer.
Did he ask if you had a JCB and whatever? Not a tractor. Or was it Massey Ferguson or whatever? Listen, you know the stuff that you cut? We'll get on to this in a minute. We're going to talk about this as the show, but we want to get the wider flavour of the show to begin with. But in the business of, how many cuts of silage would you get in a year?
3 usually.
3?
Yes, depending on the weather.
Do you have to put the stuff in, do you inject the stuff into the silage, or do you put the molasses in, or what way do you get it to ferment? Or does it just do that itself?
It can do it itself. Up until recently, we would have always added an additive.
Wow.
But now, no, this year we haven't.
Isn't
With
that
our
good?
first cut in.
But that tells you actually something about the weather and stuff.
Well, it was good weather. We got it in good weather, and hopefully it'll do the rest itself.
Yeah.
The hard work's done now.
Well, indeed. And it's good to have these guys on board with you.
Absolutely. Buttercrane, Peter, Miss Buttercrane comes along on show day, and
what sort of cow is Miss Buttercrane?
Miss Buttercrane's a very beautiful, red-haired lady.
Oh, sorry, woman. I thought you. You see, I did a nationwide program. And honestly, it was a Bailey's Beauty. It was a cow. It was a
Bailey's
cow. In down in, where was that I went?
Ballyburn,
Ballyburn. I went and I did a nationwide program.
Bailey's Championship.
And there were boys there with hair dryers, and the hair was being done of the cow.
You don't have to go any further than the Newry show to see that.
Really?
Oh yes, absolutely.
That's a cue for saying what's in the Newry show. So, so there's Cow Beauty is going to be there as well.
Well, they're presenting their animals for showing, so they have them.
They're presenting their animals for showing. Oh yes, indeed they are. Handicrafts, poetry. Shall I write you a poem for your festival?
You're more than welcome to.
I love poetry. Story writing.
That's our children's section.
And tell me this: any horses jumping?
Oh yes.
That's because it's really bringing it back to me, Peter.
We have a new horse chairman this year as well, so Will has introduced some new ideas to the horse section.
Yeah,
so
because that was we look down at Newry Town all those years ago when I was a boy. When I was a boy in Newry, in the Scouts with short trousers and dib and all of that, we went down, we sold the programmes. And we had a great time. And we were always thrilled because you could see all the exhibitions all going on. And then you heard that, when it's just about to start now, they're going to come through. The second round of the McKenna Cup happening now. This is so vivid in my mind's eye. And the whole place was vibrant.
yes.
And I'm remembering smells, I'm remembering looks, I'm remembering touches, I remember kindnesses. I remember counting me money on the programs and getting my commission out of it, you see, and whatever. But things, so it's still the same, really. It hasn't changed across the years.
Well, we've poultry now as well. We have a great dog show. We have great competitions for children's section. On the front page there, you'll see our most appropriate dressed lady, glamorous grannies, little farmer girl and farmer boy, and bonny babies, and it's a great day out for the whole family.
It is. And would I be allowed to take a picnic with me?
Of course, and why not?
And sit down and put my blanket on the ground. And
I hope it's suitable to put your blanket on the ground.
And a white linen tablecloth.
Without a doubt.
But I did that in the train with a woman once. I did, Peter. Yeah. Did I ever tell you this? This is absolutely true. We were second class, and she had a wicker basket with me, and I took the linen tablecloth out of and I put it on the table in front of us. And then I produced the smoked salmon. Then I produced the champagne. Then I produced the cheese. Then I produced for the biscuits what do they call that stuff? The pate. Yeah. This was great, and the 2 glasses, beautifully polished. And by this stage, the ticket inspector was walking past, and he looked, and I looked. I said, "Would you like a glass of wine and something to eat?" He said, "Well, fair dues to you." He said, fair dues to you. And we then engaged the entire carriage in conversation about our love life and told them that we were intending to get married and this was an expeditionary voyage to Dublin to see what the crack would be. And so the things you do, it's great. Yeah. But I've been doing that on the day out at your place.
You are more than welcome to.
But I think it's important that people do. I think it's important that people take the Newry show and that they make it their own show.
That's what it's about.
And you go, and you're not going home in the evening saying, "I was there for an hour, I was there for half an hour." You're actually going home knowing you've had a bloody good day.
That's what we want.
And everybody relaxed and talking and wearing the right clothes. And do you allow paupers in? I suppose you do.
Anyone who pays through that gate.
How much are you charging?
£5 for adults.
For a full day?
Full day, yes, absolutely.
What about very, very senior adults? Like the Queen pays my fare anywhere I want to go.
Very, very senior adults, we are very, very good to them.
Sounds like an offer you couldn't refuse, Rowan.
I will be. Well, you'll be there on the day.
I'll be there,
Peter,
I've been there before and I'll be
you'll
there again.
You'll drink a glass of champagne.
If you're handing out the champagne, Rowan, I may
it's
indulge,
on Saturday, 20th. June. My Saturdays are dead. I'd forgotten. I do another. I operate on a different planet on Saturdays. I travel away to another place, so I won't be there.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But I will celebrate on the Saturday night, and I will back home, and I will toast the Newry show.
Good for you.
And before it happens on the 28th of June, we shall do another bit of talk about it on the week beginning to sort of keep the support going for it,
Yes.
you know. So, Peter, what you talk about, why did you choose the show to sponsor? Why is the show and not the local whatever? Why the show?
I think they're a wonderful organisation. People just don't appreciate the amount of effort that goes into making these things happen. And but for that very hard-working committee, the Newry show just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So they're deserving of support. They're a very cross-community organisation representing all strands from not just one part of Newry, but the whole greater Newry area, north, south, east and west. And as I said, it's a huge part of the local economy. And it's great to have some contacts with those good country people, where maybe my own roots lie as well, you know.
Yeah.
So there's great affinity there.
To hear that,
and I wish them well, and I hope the sun shines, or at least the rain
Indeed.
stays off.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
And
indeed.
it is a great day, you know, for anybody that is thinking of going out there. It is a great day.
And if they really wanted to go in style, they could come into the Butter Crane, first of all, and buy a brand new car.
Yeah.
And get in their brand new car and drive out there.
Yeah.
In God's name, you're selling cars now in the Butter Crane.
We are. We're delighted to have C.R. Morrow there. Again, somebody who is, you know, selling cars on one side of the road and agricultural implements on the other side of the road. So I'm sure they'll be out at the show
Morrow's
as well.
come to the show, yes.
And and you know, as well as that, we're sponsoring the fashion side of things with Best Dressed Ladies and Glamorous Grannies and Bonnie Babies. So we're delighted to do that wee bit of support for the show, but supported generally in terms of.
And would your boys sitting down on shooting sticks kind of thing? They put the stick in the ground, open it out, and put their backside in it. And say, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you doing? Yes, How has farming changed in the last 20 years, as far as you can say? 20 years you've been in it, have you?
Well, I've been in it all my life. I was brought up on a farm.
So it started off, it wasn't mechanised in your day to begin with?
No, but I wasn't brought up on dairy. I was brought up with sheep and beef.
Sheep and beef.
When I was young, I worked with sheep.
Aye.
And now
Did you
I'm
ever
away from them.
do the maggoting job on the sheep?
I've seen it, yes.
Yeah, and
Yes.
putting the yellow stuff on, and exposing the.
My family
I
used
have
to
seen
clip
it.
them, and I used to be there for all them
Will I
jobs.
tell you? I have seen. God help the sheep. On the mountain, I've seen sheep
Yeah.
with the maggots. I've seen the spinal bone of the skeleton of the column exposed with the maggots.
That's
I've
an
seen
awful
that.
thing. No, well,
I've seen that, and we cured them. We did.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And have you ever turned a calf just before it was to be born?
Yes, I have.
I have too.
I have.
And have you pulled on the rope at the right time?
Yes, I have.
Don't do it the other way, or else you could be sucked into oblivion.
I've been there for all them jobs.
I know, isn't it great though?
Yeah, it
It's
is.
great to do it. You know, my deep and abiding interest in the countryside commenced when I found a leveret on a road outside Newry and brought it into the vet. And he said, "None there, Jesus, what do you think I'm going to do with this?" He said, you left it where it was, and the mother would have come along, and that would have been it. But it's people are nowadays, through the good life, well, it used to be on television, all the rest of it, they start keeping hens and stuff, and they do all of that at home. Hens on a balcony sort of job.
A lot of people now are back to a few hens and their little
But you know,
vegetable
but you could
plot.
tell them, and well, vegetable plot's all right. But you could tell them, and I could tell them, about the mess that a few hens creates. Sweet suffering Moses.
But they love them, and they have their few eggs, and they're delighted with them.
Well, I would go to Peter Murray down there and go into Moxie's and say, "Hello, may I have some eggs, please?"
I do too, if the truth be told, girl.
Well, is it true that, the free range stuff is interesting because, but I think, put at its most basic, if a creature has the ability to roam and to be free during the day, the fact that you're going to cut its head off at tea time is lost on it because it doesn't know. It'll just be saying, "That was a lovely day, I'm going to do the same tomorrow." Junk, and that's the end of it. I know.
But I'm very lucky. I have a very good neighbour with hens.
Yeah, does he kill them for you?
No, he supplies me with the eggs.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm so
Well,
lucky.
tell me then about the time you did the beef cattle. Was there ever a beast that you brought to the yard and you didn't want to be doing it? That it took a tear to your eye?
Daddy never told us where they were going. We never knew where they were going. They were just been moved on.
Moved on.
Moved on. We never knew where they were going to, what they were going for. It was just they moved on. That was it.
I did something once, and I'm gonna test it on you now. I want you both to tell me that this is a way of finding something out here, because I did this. The McCartans and Glenn will tell you this. This camera can probably get me, yes. So I'm going to go like this. I went into the field over the 5-bar gate, and I lay down. Can I lie there? I lay down like. Are you getting me there, Andrew? I lay down like this in the field, and the cows are all over the field, and I went. And within 2 minutes, every single cow in the field in 5 minutes had circled me. And there I was, lying on the ground, surrounded by cattle. The week after which I read the first time that cattle were beginning to get vicious, and I'm lying in the middle of these, but they are incredibly curious creatures.
Inquisitive, very.
Like, I mean, even if you go to the 5-bar gate and don't go into the place, and if you stand at the gate and look over, and they're all chawing away and they're doing their thing, and they go, and you go, the heads all come up.
Yeah.
They will.
And
Put a strange animal into the field with them.
They look. And they look at you. I better get back here. Andrew, sorry about this. But I mean, was I doing something that was inherently dangerous in lying down there? I wasn't jumping around now.
No, but they could have come and stood on you. They get excited.
I know they weren't getting excited. They were very chilled. The whole thing, they were so chilled. And I was keeping a sort of wee look at them.
I bet you were. I would have been too.
But it was a small price to pay for the huge lodgement I made in the memory bank of my grandchildren who were looking on.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get over this, Peter. They really, really couldn't. They were
as bemused as a poor old cattle were, perhaps, Rowan.
Yeah.
It's just a good job the bull wasn't
no.
Oh, no,
prancing around that particular day.
Oh, well, he wasn't any sign of. I would check that out to begin with. I would know about.
That was a wise thing to do.
Yeah. I would be very observant. I would know, Peter. I
would know a bull whenever you see one.
I would know a bull whenever I see. You know yourself. I would know where to keep out of the way. Well, so they were all moved on to the heavenly place in the sky. But I've heard reports, even within the last 6 months, I've heard these reports, and they appalled me actually. And I'm not going to give you location at all, but of slaughtermen who actually, let's put it this way, would have had absolutely no empathy for the creatures they were working with. That's a kind way to put it. Mm-hmm. And it appalled me that they were talking, maybe you think disrespectfully is a wrong word to use, but I think if you're going to slaughter a creature, you should quietly and spiritually even say, look, I'm very sorry, even if it's only to yourself that you're going to do this. Yeah. It gives the thing a dignity. But these fellas were talking about everything under the sun. It wasn't nice, and I didn't like it. I wonder if any of that goes on. Do people become inured to this whole death thing and killing? I just don't know.
I wouldn't want to be in seeing it at all, to be honest.
No. But you ever see Carton's chickens? Do you do Carton's chickens from? They're down in the country. They're in Cavan somewhere. They're one of Ireland's oldest. They do something like 25,000 chickens a day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they have a huge export to China of chickens' feet.
Oh, yeah.
Chickens' feet to China. And they really, the creatures they're all out running about, da-di-da-di-da-di-da, and then the final moment comes, they're shoveled up in the cages, and then they're taken down, they're in the line, and they're taken out of the cages, and they're slapped up, and then they go down the tunnel into the black space, and then they get a wee shock. And they say, oh! What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you're gone.
Yeah.
And there's this whole gavotte, if you like, this whole dance of death. It's all da-da. You could put music to it. You know, if you think of them all moving on the planet. There's times I'd like to be a vegetarian. Yeah. Why don't you just do vegetarian farming? No. Vegetables and stuff. This is ringing. Why is this ringing? I'll ignore that. That's good. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. But often I would get a call from Peter or from the Prime Minister, or you know, you just need to be careful of these things.
You never know who's going to call you.
This is all good fun, but we do need to focus attention. And please, we will deal with this again as we approach the show.
That would be great.
I am a huge, huge admirer of the show, and a huge supporter of the show.
Good.
And also a huge supporter and admirer of you, Peter, and what you have done over the years. You're good. I know I've got a special relationship with the Keys, but you understand that.
Where was that other place you mentioned?
But I have this philosophy, and I really do believe this, and I think it would help the centre of town, rather than whinging at the minister who's got his own agenda. And I get to wondering what that agenda is when he can say, this is Durkan, when Durkan can say, I know that you will be competitive with the new place out of town at Carnbane. How can you, Minister, know that? You can't. The men and women of Newry Trading are telling you straight down the barrel of their columns of figures, are saying to you, on the basis of our figures, this ain't a good idea. So don't insult them by telling them that you know better than them, because you don't. And anyway, that's my rant.
Well, it's especially strange that the same minister is supporting town centres. That's his document. That's his policy. That's only launched months ago. So it's very strange that you come up with something that puts a cart and horses through that sort of rationale. I know some local politicians are supportive of the plan scheme. It seems to be mostly.
But give you nothing for that.
No, but it seems to be mostly on the basis of there's going to be jobs in construction, and that's great. And the construction industry, by goodness, needs it. They've had a horrible few years as well. But you know, those same jobs would come from construction or for the construction sector if the thing was built within the town boundaries.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of space to accommodate all of those elements that constitute the current Carnbane proposal.
Something very odd about the whole business, you know. And it's
ironic. We had an election only last week.
And there was no word of it before.
There was no word of it right up until last week, you know. So it's no wonder local people and the local business community do raise an eyebrow. It's little wonder.
Absolutely. But we will go to the show and enjoy ourselves.
That's what I want to hear.
And for the purpose of the day, all of these problems will wait till tomorrow. The cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Isn't that right?
They shall have to
concur with enthusiasm and joy in your heart. Give us joy, give us showtime forever after. With the cows and the ducks and the calves, we'll be happy, so we will forever after. Out at the rugby club on the Hilltown Road. Newry Show, it's the one. Newry Show, we'll go along. You need to do something. Have you got a brass band or Morris dancers or something?
We sound like a brass band sometimes.
Thank you very much indeed. It's the Newry Show. It's on Saturday the 28th of June, and it's out at the rugby club beyond Gosses and Mackins out there on the right-hand side. And go, because it'll be a great day's crack, and you really will enjoy it. And as I say, you're now selling cars down at the Butter Crane. It's great, and everybody can go and do things. And what about the new public realm scheme? Why is it so slow? What's happening?
Well, it's scheduled to finish at the end of June, so I believe it's on track. I suppose like any of these construction projects, the final few pieces of the jigsaw will fall in place right at the very end. Maybe the night before it finishes.
I pray to God, if there is a God, and there just could be. I'm prepared to believe. I'm an optimistic agnostic. I think there could be a God. But I pray to God that it will happen. This is a serious enough point. That the whole business down at the Savoy corner, or opposite Bellini's, has been conducted without the slightest notice being given to the safety of pedestrians who are out there walking across the crossroads, vying with traffic to get by. And no one has thought of putting a simple rail there. I drew it to the attention of the police. And the police said, what do you want us to do? I said, you're there to protect life and property. Sort it out. So they give me a number and all of the complaint and all the rest of it. But I just pray. I saw an old woman on the day I told the police, almost been knocked down. She was hit on the side by a passing yoke bus. And people, you know, it's just crazy stuff. Anyway, it's going to be great. We'll be sitting outside the Butter Crane and the Keys now, and we'll be sitting there having our afternoon tea or coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all great.
It'll all look well in the end, I suppose. You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs,
true,
and
it's
certainly
true.
they're breaking eggs at the minute.
They are
but
breaking eggs,
it's coming
yeah.
towards the end, so
Absolutely.
the end of the tunnel is some
Yeah.
light at the end of the tunnel, let's say. Yeah.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
That's it.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
You're a very
Ron.
fine human being.
Thank you.
And, very,
Nice to talk
and I'm
to you.
sure for all of the cows that you killed in your day, I forgive you.
I milked, you should say.
No, but you did it in your earlier life. Peter, God love
thank
you.
you.
Take care. Go well. Take care. Newry show, the 28th of June at the Rugby Club. Be there and enjoy. Take care.